Okay, this is Father Ken-Lao, and I'm here with Father Nathan, the pastor here at Our Lady of the Rockies here in Canmore with Father Brenton. Father Nathan is gracious enough to give us a tour of Our Lady of the Rockies.
So I'm going to walk you through some of the main liturgical features in the church. So we were very fortunate that all the beautiful marble and statues you see came from two churches in the United States. One was near Chicago, one was near Buffalo. Unfortunately, they closed, but a group came in, took out all the furnishings, and we were able to give them a new home. So here's our baptismal font. All kind of old baptismal fonts are in the shape of an octagon. There's a reason for that. The first Christians believed that God creates the world in 7 days, and then He recreates the world on the day of resurrection. So they called it the 8th day. So that's why you see that octagon. I'm a rock climber, so I'm very strong, and I can pull this lid off, and I'm just teasing.
Whoa!
It just spins off very nicely. Lovely statue of St. Catherine of Sienna. It's known as one of the great reformers and mystics of our church. And then in the wall, there are 4 images of the early days of our Lord here on earth: the Visitation, the Nativity, the Presentation, and life in Nazareth. The Stations of the Cross. The wood part of the station were for many years in Sacred Heart Church, which was the original church here in Canmore. Very interesting image that you don't see very often. And it's actually depicting the death of Saint Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
We have that image of Our Lady and the Christ Child. And it's known as the Queenship of Mary. August 22nd is the feast day of the parish. Altar and our ambo. What we were able to do was to take many pieces of marble from old altars, clean them up, and then make a new altar and ambo from those old pieces. Very providentially, at the center of the main altar is the monogram Maria, which means under the protection of Mary.
I like that. You have the Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So create, kind of like in the Eastern tradition, like in a ikonostasis, a sense of when you step behind the gates, you're now in the Holy of Holies. Matthew is the human, and Mark's the lion, and Luke is the bull, and John is the eagle, so trying to connect the Word and the Holy Sacrament. The stained glass window, that's, if you will, the main image of Our Lady of the Rockies. Image of Jesus on the cross, that was from our old church. We were able to keep the corpus, and then new statues of Our Lady of Sorrows and St. John were purchased to accompany the cavalry scene on the very back wall. And they were painted by a Hungarian artist who lives in Calgary. So from left to right, the first image, Christ is probably about 5 or 6. He's with his grandparents, St. Anne and Joachim, and the elderly man in the background. People have interpreted him different ways. Maybe he's Abraham, God the Father, one of the prophets. Kind of leave that open to people to interpret. The second image, we have the Holy Family. Jesus is probably 12 or 13, preparing for the day of work. In the third image, when you initially look at it, you're not quite sure what's going on, but if you look carefully on the ground, you can see the shadow of the cross. So it's meant to be a depiction of Mary and John at Calvary, looking up, if you will, from Jesus' perspective on the cross, looking at them. And then the final image, you can see above Mary's head, the crown of thorns, honoring Mary's queenship, and the 3 sisters are in the background as, our small columbarium for those who are cremated and would like to have their ashes placed in a columbarium niche. It has this incredible depiction of purgatory.
So you started building this church 2018. When did this finish?
Finished in 2020.
Oh, last year. Do you have an associate pastor here?
Just me.
Do you need one? Can I apply?
Need a bigger rectory, but sure.
Thank you so much for this interview and touring us around.